So you'd create an account, you get a number assigned to you in a local area code. I created this test event, but I'll just show you what it's like to make an event. So what should we call the event? We could just say Wednesday night stream. Then you would select the date. So we'll do today, and it's active for 24 hours. So here's the number that is associated in my account. And then there's this notion of this like auto reply text. So whenever someone sends a text in, they're going to get an auto response back. And again, that's really just thinking about like engagement. So it could be like, hope you are enjoying the stream, ask questions. So that can really kind of just be something you kind of want to like repeatedly show. And then this thank you message is pretty cool. So at the end of the night, you send this out. So at the end of the stream, I could send this out. It's like, hope you enjoyed the stream. And then I don't have your website handy. It's Wedding Business Growth.
Weddingbusinessgrowth.com. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good domain. And then you can say view more. So this is kind of your opportunity to like thank people and give out that kind of final message. And I think there's a lot of use cases, right? Like if you want to put your Venmo or your PayPal, if you're like a bar DJ, if you're, at like a more upscale wedding, maybe you want to put the couple's wedding website and not brand yourself. It's really up to the DJ on what they want to do. This thing I wanted to talk about is this notion of a virtual contact card. So it's kind of hard to explain, but like if Nick had a contact he wanted to share with you, Dave, he could on his phone click share, and it sends this like special type of card. It's called a contact card. It just makes exactly. It just makes it easy to get the contact info. So if I click this, it's going to send a contact card to everyone. So that is a place to put your name, your website, your address, your email address, and I don't think it's kind of too salesy. I think it's kind of this nice way that's not flashy, right? That allows people to follow up with you.
That's huge.
Yeah. So that's cool. And I can show you quickly, or actually I can show you guys after how you actually set that up. And then one of the cool things, which you'll see in a second, is this idea of song detection. So if you type a song in, we try to guess the song. We are wrong some of the times, but I think there's just kind of a layer of fun. I know we have one of our customers who's going to come on, and I'll have him talk about it because I think he sees it a little differently than I do. But I think like that could be interesting. And then the guest names too is a way to get the folks' nicknames if you want to be really personalized. And we've had customers who are really interested in getting, like close to guests and stuff. And that's an opportunity to provide your name. But then from there, you could just create this event. And then
it's an easy process already. I can see that's
right. Yeah. Process. And then you can view this link. So this is the most important part. So this is for the DJ only. So you can send this to your assistant, your other DJs, whatever it is. So I think it'd be fun if anyone who's watching the stream just takes out their phone. I'm going to do it too, and just try sending a request. If it is a song request, you should put the word play first, and people on their like flyers will say that. So this is kind of where like, the interaction begins. So if you put in, so I don't know, I keep using like play Get Lucky as an example. So don't put the artist name. So see if the system can figure out the, wow, I knew we'd get tons of WAP.
It wasn't just me, sweet.
No, honestly, I was looking at top requests and I posted on our Instagram. That was like the top one last weekend.
That's hilarious.
Oh, really?
Several things. Yeah, people are.
That's wild.
I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, it's been pretty funny. So it looks like a few people texted in. So just a few things to call out. So on the right, you can sort of picture this as like threads in iMessage or like rows. So these are individual people. So this is me. So I can see my whole conversation thread like this. So it looks like someone put like Jimmy in. So this is Jimmy. And I can say like, no way, man, or something like that. And you can actually respond back to the guest. So they should just get that as a text.
Oh, wow.
And then on the left, we try to sort the songs by our identification. So you have the songs like this. And then if I'm actually going to play a song, you can click this button, which will inform them that the song is going to come up next. And again, this is really depends how engaged you want to get with guests. Like, you don't have to click that, obviously, but that could be fun if like someone told me a bride was like in the bathroom during their song, or something, and they like came like running out or something. And you can see the names above if they provide it. If they don't, it's guests. So you can see like 2 people requested this.
That's actually you bring up a good point, because how many times have we been at events where, as the DJ, somebody makes a request of you, and then you find the right time in the mix to play it, and of course you pick the one time that they're in the bathroom, or they're in a different part of the building, or even outside or whatever, and then they come back and like, oh, I want to hear my song. You're like, I literally just played it 2 seconds ago. Oh, I was outside. Can you play it again? Can you play it again? So this is like super cool in the sense that at least now they're getting a little bit of a heads up, like, yo, your song's getting ready to come on, so make sure your ass is on the dance floor or whatever,
Dude, that's incredible.
Yep, exactly.
It's it's really neat technology, man. I mean, what you got here is pretty cool. So I mean, one thing I saw there was a new feature next to the video card. Is that like a new thing that you have?
Yeah, so that was the contact card thing.
Right.
So basically what you do is in settings, you end the event. So this would be at the end of the event. I can do that in a second. I wish there was a way I could like show my phone up here. Not actually sure if there's a way to do that.
Are there any like upgrades and like enhancements or anything you can do to for this, or?
You mean so like in terms of all the features? So you can do the guest names. The raffles one actually. So this again is probably not going to be used at like a wedding, but I've just been to events where like they want to give away like a bar mitzvah or something. They want to give away something, so you can click this and it just picks someone randomly. So these are the last 4 digits. Honestly, a really clever way to get more people to text in is to get on the mic and be like, hey, I've got a $15 iTunes gift card. Everyone text me your favorite song. It's just a great way to get everyone on the system, and then you can raffle that out. And again, it's a time and place thing, right? Like probably at a wedding, you probably don't want to do that. But if you're doing like a school dance, this is like the perfect thing to just get everyone involved. But you know what? If I could just share my full screen, I pulled up the text window. So let me just do that. Yeah. So now you can kind of see what it's like. And you can also say non-songs. I can be like, play, like I want to hear more Michael Jackson or something like that. And then because you didn't use play, we show it as a message.
Gotcha.
So I just want to point that out. But in terms of plans, we just include everything. I don't think we want to like nickel and dime people. Like we've just been including the contact card, the name feature, kind of just everything we build. We'll just give it to everyone.
Okay.
I'll tell you one thing that I'm thinking in my head right now. Like, first of all, I think every DJ should have this. Personally, I think every DJ should have this because of the simplicity of it, because of the functionality of it, because of the interaction of it. It's all on your computer already. So as long as you're connected to the internet somehow, you're going to have access to the information. Right now, Matt, just while I'm on that point, what if I'm not connected to the internet? Do I have an option if that's the case?
So that is a great question. So all you need is cell service. You do need cell service. Okay. So if you can't view this on a computer, what you can do is it is like mobile optimized. You can just view this on your cell phone. And all the features are the same. If I like shrink it, you kind of see it's a little harder to read. Some people bring, an iPad that has cell service. I have been talking to DJs that are doing a lot of like barn weddings, and that we haven't figured out yet. So I don't know what to do there. But if you do have just even a little cell service, this does work kind of well. Let me just show you what it's like to end the event. So if the event's over, you click this, and then it shows you what the thank you message is going to be. And then now we should all get that thank you message. So it says, hope you enjoyed the stream, view more info here. Yep. And then the coolest part, I think, is that contact card. So that contact card should have came in. And then this is like programmed. So now they can, save it or whatever they want, and then they can come back at a later date.
That's amazing.
That is incredible. Yeah. So my point that I was getting to is that if DJs don't utilize this, I could see this being an upsell for a wedding planner, like almost anybody who's going to be at the event, like not maybe necessarily somebody that has a, that has a cake that they're setting up or whatever, but somebody who's going to be at the event. This would be a great upsell if the DJ is silly enough to not do it himself. And then you could just sit there and just befriend the DJ and just be like, hey, listen, I got a few requests. Here's a list. You mind, hell, I'd just be like, yo, the bride told me a few songs that she may have forgotten to tell you. Here they are. And then I'd just be waiting to hear them damn songs come on and hit that thing on the screen every time the DJ plays.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I think it's a great upsell, especially at like a birthday party or any of those kind of things where you probably don't want to brand, or like it doesn't make sense to brand yourself. It's just kind of like an added fun. It probably makes sense. I think it's valuable. Well,
and I think you hit some really good points earlier about the fact that, Nick even mentioned it, where there's a lot of people that are just shy and they don't, even, let's just say, forget COVID. Like, let's just pretend like COVID doesn't even exist right now. People are still shy, to come up to the DJ and ask for a request or, and on the flip side, any of us that have been DJs long enough know that there are some people that are just incredibly annoying that ask for too many requests. Yep. And, I'd rather that drunk person that doesn't even remember their name, but still wants to make a request. I'd rather they try to figure out how to do it on their phone than stand there and talk to me for 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Not that I don't mind taking requests, because I love interacting with people and I love that whole aspect of the event. I'm just going to unshare the screen here for just a second. I love that whole aspect of the event, but this is just a great way to kind of circumvent some of that stuff. But most importantly, we all have been guilty of this. People come up to us, they ask us for a card, or we go up, we ask people for cards, we take their card, we put it in our pocket, especially if if we're wearing a suit or something like that. We hang our suit up, and then we forget totally about that card until we take our suit to the cleaners, or we just take everything out of our pockets and we throw it away. This is going to guarantee that they are going to not lose your contact information. I think that's incredible.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the things I say is like, I don't know, I throw business cards out all the time. So I think it's nice that they have this saved in their phone. Also, another point to bring up, and I think the guests we're going to have on is one of the people who sort of like brought it up, but when things return back to normal and you do like any type of school event, it's really not ideal to have students sort of like texting your number just from like a liability standpoint. So what's nice about this is it sort of is like Uber, where like it like masks the number. So the DJ does not, get any information. So we have a privacy policy on our website. You can send it to the school, and it's like this system. There's no way to get in contact. Like when that event ends, you can't text anyone. And when you make a new event, like all the old numbers are thrown out. So I just want to call that out just from like a safety perspective, because I think that's something that has come up when people are using like Google Voice, for example.
That's an excellent point, actually, the safety and security of it. And when you are dealing with schools and kids and things like that, that extra layer of protection is great. And, still being able to communicate back and forth while they're at the event, but it's almost like a credit card transaction that we never get your credit card fee, but we're still able to have this transaction with each other. Or I don't mean fee, sorry, credit card number and all of that stuff, and everything stays safe and secure.
And I think the best way to look at pricing is if you just kind of increase your word of mouth and you get more bookings, or you get more people talking, or you just provide a fun experience, it's worth that like $8, $9, $10 per event. So that's kind of my thinking there.
But this feature is going to kind of seal the deal, I think, with why I'm saying that. So Matt, I'm giving it to you. Tell us about it.
Okay. I hope I don't screw it up. Okay. So essentially, the idea is what we're calling photo memories. So guests can send text messages of photos from the night. So you basically send photos from the night into this text line, and it's the same number. So it's just giving more purpose to that number beyond text messaging. And I'll just give a really quick story, but I went to a wedding last year in California, actually. And after the event, the bride was sending me emails and all these guests, emails asking, hey, did you take any photos? We'd love to kind of see them. And they did hire a photographer, so I don't think it's a replacement. But the idea is just to kind of send those like candid photos. So in her email, she sent like an iCloud link. And that was just a pain, right, to like coordinate all that. So I was thinking, I just naturally took some photos of people being drunk and silly and whatnot. So I think it'd be cool if people could send like 4 photos or 5 photos into this number. and then our system will just make an album, and then you can send that to actually everyone who texted in. It doesn't only need to go to the bride and groom. I think everyone can have fun with that. And the reason why I also think, well, I guess there's two reasons it's good for the DJ or the photographer or really whoever is. One is it's a great upsell opportunity. So you could totally, in meetings say we offer this for $100, $50. I know it's going to be hard to find that price point maybe. So I think one, it's an upsell, and two, it's another opportunity to really give a final kind of like, hey, here's my DJ information. So let's say the event was Saturday. You could send that information on like Wednesday to everyone at the party, being like, here's the album. And like, by the way, I'm DJ Matt or whatever it is. So it's just like that final kind of message follow up. Like, I think it's a good excuse to do it 3 days later, if that makes sense.
That's awesome.
It's an awesome feature. I mean, anyone can be offering that, which is really cool. And totally. I love you have the opportunity to give out your information in the form of that card. I mean, the fact that it's right there and I click on it and I see your stuff and that's it, man, that's absolutely incredible. So that's awesome.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I think probably like at younger weddings will make sense. I don't know if my grandparents or people are going to be texting in photos, but yeah. If you get 40 photos, I think it's still cool to just see, because you're so stressed. Well, I haven't been married, but you're running around and stuff. So I imagine you're not thinking about photos. So it's kind of cool to be on your honeymoon or wherever you are and like, oh, that was a fun event.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and I'll be honest with you, man. As much as you mentioned, whether or not the grandparents or whatever will be, be texting in photos. I'll tell you, I when we first started doing the digital photo booths and like the texting photo booths versus the print photo booths and all that stuff, I kind of felt the same way. Like, I don't know, maybe the maybe the older generation, if you will, the older at heart generation, if you will, may not, gravitate to this so much. But to be honest with you, they're the ones that seem like they have the most fun with it. Like, they just think it's the coolest thing, the neatest thing. And maybe it's just because of, the technology aspect of it and something new and innovative to them. So I think you'd be surprised that, that more probably will. Lincoln, man, thank you so much for checking in with us. This is awesome to hear, especially it helps build your profile on social media and personal website for DJing too. Yeah. So definitely good ways of doing that as well.
Yeah. I also pulled up the screen. I don't know if you want to share real quick, but this is what a DJ would put in like a plastic. So, if it's an upscale wedding, I would probably buy a picture frame, spend $20 on it. And you put this at like the welcome table where people get their name cards. And what's cool is it's the same number for song requests, right? So you don't have to kind of advertise all this stuff. So the idea is people scan it with their phone. You can start sending photos right off the bat. And then at the end of the night in that thank you message, we will send a reminder saying, hey, just send us your 4 favorite photos on the way out. But, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, right? Like, there's no investment, basically. And one DJ was like, well, I also do photo booth. And I was like, this is still totally different. Like,
yeah.
This is the photos at the table. This is the photos at the reception,